I was brought up by family vloggers, and it ruined my life. IF17 was brought up by parents who family vlogged. They started vlogging when I was around 7 and stopped 3 years ago. I want to hugely avoid speculation as to who my family is, so won't be sharing much more detail. The channel had over 500,000 subscribers. My parents finally stopped when there was a mental health crisis in my family as a result of the channel. This was never shared online. If you are a family vlogger or are considering it, please read this and consider my perspective. I've wanted to share for a while, but didn't know how to. I loved it for a while. I loved being center of attention while the camera was on, and I loved getting more toys. I stopped loving it when I realized the only time I got attention was when the camera was on, and the only time I got toys was when I performed in a way I was meant to. I'm going to list some stuff that happened and how it affected us. My siblings and I were so paranoid. There was cameras on us that the only place we felt comfortable changing was in the bathroom. With the lights off, I couldn't talk to my mom about anything when my mental health began to get bad because I was too scared she'd share it online. If I'd asked her not to, it wouldn't have made a difference. I now barely have a relationship with my mom. My mom considered homeschooling us so that she'd have more time to make content. During the day, my best friend's mom said she didn't want my friend anymore because my mom kept filming her without permission. My mom didn't care how upset I was. I didn't have a single private moment. My mom woke me up with the camera on, and she often filmed, right until we went to sleep. She filmed us in the bath, and although she's tried to get it off the internet, it's downloaded and online forever. She shared when I got my period, even though I told her I didn't want her to. Someone attempted to kidnap my sister and found it easy because they knew her full name, address, school, and details about her. My sister didn't know he was a stranger because he knew so much about her. There's obviously a lot more. Feel free to ask any questions you have. I'm so sorry you went through this. My daughter has watched some of these family vloggers, and I find it so cringe. There's one in particular, Shot of the Yeagers, that make me sick. There's an entire storyline called The Doll Maker, about a haunted doll that keeps following them around. And I keep thinking, do these kids even understand that it's pretend? The mother is running around screaming as though it's real. And some of those kids are so small, they would be too young to understand. It's clear the mother does it for the money, and it just makes me ill. There are many others like this, but your story made me think of them in particular. I hope you and your siblings can heal from your experience. This sounds horrific. I'm so sorry that you were subjected to this, but thanks for your post, because it's really interesting and important to share. I'm curious, did your parents make a lot of money doing this? Do you know how much? I'm just wondering why they would think this was a good idea. My parents made more in a week online than my dad did in a year at his full-time job. I don't know specifics, to be honest, but we all went to private school after the homeschooling idea didn't work, and we went on vacations out the country at least once a month. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry that you and your sibling Zess had to go through that. Do you feel safer now? I see you're 17, so still a minor, I think. But are you planning on leaving as soon as possible in case they might start up again? Or do you think you'll be all right? I no longer live with my parents. I've always thought about how growing up in the spotlight would affect vlogger kids. I'm so sorry to hear your experience was so detrimental. I've unfollowed most family-focused accounts on social media now. Always used to love them, but it started to feel really icky when parents say things like, "Wave to your friends," to their toddlers who are busy doing something else. I think OP was probably too old when it started to answer this, but I wonder when and how kids start to realize that the friends are actually many strangers. It must feel so creepy and invasive when it finally clicks for them. It didn't really click until I was 11 or 12, that most of the people who knew me were grown-ups with boundary issues. People forget that although they know every detail of your life, they're a complete stranger to you. People I had just met would ask me about intimate moments of my life without a second thought. I still find it creepy now. Yeah. This should be illegal. Some of this is close to or is psychological abuse. Your mom sounds sociopathic. Have a good life from here on out. All the best. Holy moly. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective, and I am sorry that you have to go through that. I hope that things are a tad better now that they stopped, but they might start vlogging again once things are deemed okay and stable, and I am afraid you and your siblings have to go through it all over again. I am not too familiar with this kind of situation, but is it possible to get help? Does this count if you call like CPS people? They'd never restart now, and they hugely regret starting in the first place. Things have gotten better in some ways, but I don't think I'll ever have a great relationship with either of my parents, and my siblings and I are still recognized in public, often, even though it's been a while since they stopped. Which we hate. I don't know about CPS or anything. They weren't doing anything illegal though. I don't think I'm so sorry for what happened to you. And thanks for sharing. I can't help but wonder what it's like for family vlogger kids. And now I know, I guess. Do you ever contact other family vlogger kids? Yes. Some of my best friends are people I met through YouTube, and their families are still online. They all feel the exact same as me.